Oh, what a start.
170.
Brilliant.
Well,
Switched down to the bull.
Caught us all out there. Not sure what that's all about.
Just because he can.
Well, we've been waiting for a 170, but we want to see it at the end of a leg.
34. 29.
Neither player for me looked convincing in their first round games. Both seemed to take a bit of time to find some consistency.
Michael van Gerwen saw off the defending
96.
champion, Kevin Painter. 6 frames to 3. 12 to 1 shot I saw for the World Championships. Not the worst price, is it?
No, there's been
145.
a lot of money. There was a lot of money for him before he actually won the Grand Prix, and then there was even more money when he was in the Grand Slam. And I think he was offered around about 66s at one point during the year.
140. Michael, you require 157.
Well, he could take this out, in theory. Still could. Not now. But he's going to come back with 3 more darts because Hamilton no checkouts.
24 after 12. That's the kind of darts he's throwing at the minute, and better.
I think it was going and playing on the youth tour, which has given him the confidence. Is that what's pushed him on?
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, he's
40.
getting effectively
Michael,
2
you
bites of the cherry.
24.
And, you know, he's obviously super talented.
Game
got
show
it.
the
First
first leg.
And a lot
Michael
more
van
experience
Gerwen.
than the
Second leg
actual
is
young
Michael
youth
van
players
Gerwen.
coming through.
Game on.
And you start winning a few of those, and, you know, winning breeds winning. And alternatively, the other way around, you see players struggling,
60.
and they tend to keep struggling until they get a run somewhere. And Michael van Gerwen's year started that way with a great victory.
Couple of 9 darters to his name as well. 1 in the World Match Play and 1 on the floor. And that fabulous win over Phil Taylor only last
140.
weekend in Barnsley. Beat him 6-5, 5-4 down, and then finished him off with checkouts of 164 and 124. Not
Yeah,
bad.
I was following that
136.
via Sportstat Live on the internet, and mid-match they were both up around 115, and then it went up to about 118, and eventually levelled out around the 110 mark. But that was a phenomenal performance.
140.
Yes, it all started way back in February. Michael did nothing really in the first 3 events and in a youth event,
105.
and then hit a 9-darter and won a UK Open qualifier, and he's not looked back.
Andy Hamilton, though, from last summer, World Match Play semis, World Championship final, reached the semis of the Premier League.
15-8 down in that World Match Play earlier match against Whitlock, and that really catapulted his year.
Probably didn't do Whitlock a lot of good.
No, it was
100.
incredible to watch.
And you require 140.
Well, Hamilton now can strike back against the darts. Been a spectacular one, though. Can't be done now. Crowd a little bit slow getting in here. I'm sure it's going to be mighty boisterous once
60.
it gets going, once
Michael, you
the
require
word goes
100.
round that it's actually started here.
Yeah, it's just I think they're all waiting for the football to end before they pour
Game
in.
show in the second
Great
leg.
100 finish
Michael
from Van Gerwen for 2-0.
Third leg is Sandy did through first. Game on.
Was that Dellen Rodney?
Manchester United in action, weren't they? They were 4-3 up at half-time.
$57.
Another predictable game.
Oh, I noticed this with Andy in his first round game. He was taking a bit of time to get going, and Michael is not giving him a lot of time to settle.
No, and he's in danger of getting away here, isn't he? If he takes another one against the darts here, it's only first to 10. Andy needs to find the rhythm.
It's like he's throwing a little bit quicker,
95.
a little bit more deliberate.
Van Gerwen at this stage averaging 107 to Hamilton's 84.
134.
That just notches it up to 109. It's quite chilly here tonight. This might be appropriate gear.
I'll get you on tomorrow if you wear it.
Rather hoping I might. Oh, I see what you mean.
40.
So you'll get me on and you get me one. Always up for a challenge, Race.
97.
Like most of the European players, and especially the Dutch players, they certainly like to use the board. The manufacturer's Unicorn don't mind it, wears them out nice and evenly.
Not into it yet, is he, Andy?
Michael, you
No,
require
he's
130.
blowing his hands a lot. I don't know whether he's feeling a bit of a chill.
It is chilly in here, I thought, Chris, when I walked in. Here we go.
Game shot of the
That's
third
3-0.
leg.
He's not feeling
Michael
chilly, is he?
Gerwen.
It's a bit drafty, this big old auditorium,
Come on.
and it is mighty cold outside.
More red hot chilly.
91.
Yeah, that sets up good thinking. That look at those averages.
Yeah,
Some
average
31 points difference.
108.
Notice that with Michael van Gerwen as well. He tends to go for that 57. If he goes 20-20 with his first two on his first visit, he will look at
60.
putting a 4 on the end or a 1 on the end. Because Tom 140 now leaves 170. There's a 4 on the end instead of going for a 19 and putting a 2 on. It'll be 164
140.
instead of 162. That's how far in advance these guys think now. Like the snooker players used to think 4 or 5 shots ahead of themselves. These Dutch guys do the same on the darts.
As we said earlier on, Michael van Gerwen, currently the Dutch #1.
Certainly is.
100.
Oh, there we go. Beer goggles.
Quite literally.
Butlin's very much the place for that sort of
40.
thing, so I'm told. That's more like it. That's a good opening dart.
It's a bit of a demolition job so far, John.
100.
He's getting
That's not enough.
He's getting a rare old tousling at the moment. And Andy averaging less than 80, that's going to get him nowhere.
93.
Well, he's a throw behind every time. That's the trouble. He's three darts behind in every leg.
Wife Kate will be somewhere close by, watching as ever.
I can see an old mate of yours there.
100.
Part of Andy's
Michael,
management
you
team,
require
Jess Harding.
137.
Indeed, good fighter in his day.
Certainly was.
He still looks in good nick, doesn't he?
If he says jump, I'd ask how high.
89. And you
Yeah, I
require
wouldn't seek to take
141.
any liberties with Mr. Harding. But like Andy, I mean, Andy looks as though he'd sort you out at the drop of a hat, but he's a lovely fella, and so too Jess.
Sets it up lovely, puts a little bit of pressure on this 48.
Michael, you require 48.
Well, for 4-0, can continue the lightning start, double 16.
Game
4-0.
shot of the fourth leg.
Doesn't look
Michael
like missing,
van
does he?
Gerwen. Fifth leg is Andy to throw first. Game on.
Well, I don't necessarily like to encourage gambling, but that sort of form, that 12-1 at Ali Pally, didn't look a bad one, does it?
Well, the 66s a few months ago looks even better. And I know a few shrewd punters.
Am I
Not a
sitting
little bit
next?
of that.
Am I sitting next to one? Did you?
99.
No,
Not
you're
allowed.
not allowed to do that. Oh, sorry.
I do try and
99.
give the people that follow me on Twitter a little bit of a heads up if I fancy a few matches. Trying to make a little bit of money for them for Christmas.
Well, I thought Andy Hamilton would give Michael van Gerwen a good run for his money here, but he's not really
97.
settled into this game yet.
Mad Monks. Aaron Monk not here, unfortunately.
100.
Some talent coming through, though. No doubt we'll see the likes of Aaron Monk and James Hubbard. The World Championships start 14th of December.
55.
I'm sure Phil Taylor will be chomping at the bits at the prospect of getting himself yet another world title. He'd like to get back to the top of the pile again. A.D. Lewis will have his own
121.
ideas on that one.
Well, potentially,
Super Dad, as we know him now.
potentially, if Adrian beats Phil tonight and wins this, I think he possibly could go number one.
I think that's the way it works out. And as I was
134.
talking to one of the statisticians earlier on, and they were suggesting that that was the case. Well, Hamilton's got 116 here to go into the
And he
first
require
break with the
116.
advantage.
It's a must, isn't it, John?
You'd think so.
Good marker.
Double 18 then. And
Yeah,
that
he's
gets
on the
him
fifth
into the
leg.
game.
And
The
the
customary
hammer.
roar from Big Andy. The hammer's on the board, but Van Gerwen leads at the first break by 4 legs to 1. What a start.